Imagine this: you're rummaging through an old coffee tin in your garage, maybe looking for screws or paper clips, when your hand hits something small, round, and heavy with history. You take it out, wipe the dust away, and see the year, 1949. A Lincoln penny. No mint mark. Worth almost nothing? Or worth enough to change your life forever? Now here's the shocker. One of these coins, in the right condition, is currently valued at $949,000. Yes, close to $1 million for a penny you could mistake for pocket change. And before you think, that could never happen to me, let me tell you, some of the biggest coin windfalls happen to ordinary people who weren't even looking. And no, you don't need to dig through pirate treasure chests. Your treasure might be sitting in a sock drawer. But before we dive into why this penny is so rare and how you can identify one, let me warn you, these opportunities don't wait. People are discovering them right now. And once the market shifts, your window could close. Let's rewind to 1949. America is rebuilding after World War II. Gas is just 27 cents a gallon. Harry Truman is president, and every household is adjusting to a new kind of peace. And quietly, at the Philadelphia Mint, millions of Lincoln pennies roll off the presses. Most are common, but a tiny fraction, an extremely tiny fraction, were struck so perfectly, preserved so carefully, that they now represent the upper echelon of collectible coins. Here's the catch. The 1949 Lincoln penny with no mint mark from Philadelphia isn't rare just because of age. It's rare because finding one in mint state condition is nearly impossible today. Think about it, this coin is over 75 years old. Most have been scratched, worn down, or corroded by decades of pockets, purses, and rainy sidewalks. Now, here's where the excitement builds. Collectors will pay astronomical prices for one in pristine condition. Why? Because in coin collecting, rarity plus perfect condition equals value. And when demand is fueled by passionate collectors, the bidding war can get intense, and I mean pulse racing, life-changing intense. It's like eBay, but instead of arguing over a toaster, people are throwing hundreds of thousands at a 1-cent piece. And remember that $949,000 market value I mentioned. That's not some hypothetical fairy tale. That's today's high-end sale potential for the right coin, verified, graded, and coveted by serious buyers. But here's the question, how do you know if the penny in your possession is the one? The urgency and payoff first, check for the mint mark. The 1949 penny with no mint mark was struck in Philadelphia. The absence of a letter beneath the date means it came from there. That's step 1. Step 2, condition. If your coin still has its full luster, with Abraham Lincoln's profile sharp enough to see every strand of hair, you could be holding something spectacular. And here's the part most people miss, you need to have it professionally graded. Without grading, even the rarest penny is just a penny in someone's eyes. And the clock is ticking. The coin market is hot right now, but just like real estate or stocks, momentum can shift. Those who act fast can lock in life-changing profits. Those who wait, well, let's just say they'll be watching someone else tell the story. And wouldn't it be awkward to hear your neighbor on the news saying, "Yep, found it in my junk drawer," while you realize yours was in your junk drawer last week? In a moment, I'll tell you exactly how one lucky collector turned a 1949 no-mint mark Lincoln penny into a near $1 million payday. But first, remember this, opportunity is quiet. It doesn't knock. It sits, unnoticed, until someone with the right knowledge sees it. Final build and call to action: go through every penny from the late 1940s in your home. Look for the 1949 date. Check for no mint mark. Inspect its condition carefully. And if it looks crisp, untouched, like it's been frozen in time, get it graded immediately. The difference between finding nothing and finding nearly $1 million is just paying attention. Because wealth doesn't always come in the form of big flashy moments. Sometimes it's hiding in the smallest, most ordinary objects. The question is, will you walk past it, or will you recognize it before it's gone forever? Subscribe now. I've got more coin secrets that could change your life. And trust me, the next one might just be sitting in your pocket right now. Imagine reaching into an old coffee can in your attic, feeling the cool weight of forgotten coins, and pulling out a penny that could pay off your home, your debts, and still leave you with enough to live comfortably for the rest of your life. A penny. Just 1 cent in face value. But here's the twist, this is no ordinary coin. The 1962 D. Lincoln Memorial penny has been selling in the collector's market for up to $962,000. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million for something you might already have sitting in a jar. Now, before you dash off to dig through every drawer and couch cushion in your house, stay with me. Because what I'm about to share isn't just a list of coin facts. It's a treasure map. And at the end of this map lies the knowledge that could transform an overlooked coin into your ticket to wealth. But be warned, in the world of rare coins, opportunities come and go fast. Collectors aren't just buying pennies. They're hunting for the rarest survivors in history. If you're not ready to spot one when you see it, you could let a fortune slip right through your fingers. Let's rewind to 1962. The Denver Mint was striking Lincoln Memorial pennies by the millions. Most of them, perfectly ordinary. Copper composition, sharp engraving of Lincoln's profile, the iconic memorial on the reverse. And most went straight into circulation where they were worn down, dented, and forgotten. So why is one worth almost $1 million today? It comes down to rarity inside the ordinary. Certain 1962 D pennies came out of the mint with exceptional preservation, flawless surfaces, and in some cases, striking errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet flaws. These rare survivors were quietly tucked away in coin rolls, mint sets, or simply forgotten by accident. Until now. Picture this. A coin with no wear, shimmering under magnification, every detail razor-sharp, the D mint mark crisp and proud. For a seasoned collector, that's not just a penny. That's art. That's history. That's money. Now, here's the part most people miss. The right coin in the right condition, graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC, can command prices that make the average person's jaw drop. And when competition between collectors heats up, auction prices can skyrocket far beyond the book value. You might be wondering, do I even have one of these in my possession? And if I did, how would I even know? Hold that thought, because we'll get to the exact steps you can take to find out in just a moment. Imagine finding a 1962 D Lincoln penny in pristine condition. You hold it up, light dances on the copper surface, and in that moment, you realize you're holding nearly $1 million in the palm of your hand. That's the kind of story that changes family histories. But here's the reality check. Time is not your friend. Every year, coins disappear into private collections. The ones in top-tier condition are becoming rarer by the day. If you wait too long, that golden window of opportunity could close forever. First, locate any stash of old coins you have, boxes, jars, old wallets. Second, examine every 1962 penny carefully, especially those with the D mint mark just below the date. Look for exceptional sharpness, luster, and absence of wear. Third, if you think you have something special, resist the urge to clean it. Cleaning can destroy its value instantly. Instead, contact a professional grading service. And remember, this isn't just about finding one coin. This is about building an eye for opportunities that others overlook. Because once you train yourself to see value where others see pocket change, the world becomes a marketplace of hidden treasure. So let me ask you, will you be the person who hears the story, smiles, and goes back to scrolling? Or will you be the person who digs, checks, and maybe, just maybe, changes their life with a single penny? Because the next 1962 D Lincoln Memorial penny worth $962,000 could already be in your possession. Subscribe now, because I have more coin secrets that could turn your spare change into serious cash, and the next video might just reveal the exact key to unlocking your next fortune. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand. It's worn, it's copper, it jingles like all the others in your pocket. But here's the twist. This one penny could be worth nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right, $964,000 for a coin that might be sitting in your kitchen drawer right now. Now, before you dismiss this as just another internet rumor, let me take you on a journey. One that starts in 1964 in Denver, Colorado, and could end with you holding the kind of wealth that changes your life forever. But here's the thing, most people will never know if they've held this fortune in their hands. The question is, will you be the one who finds it? Or will you spend it without ever realizing what you lost? In 1964, America was changing fast. The Beatles had landed. The Civil Rights Act had passed. And deep inside the Denver Mint, millions of Lincoln Memorial cents were rolling off the presses. Most were ordinary, but a rare few came out with tiny, almost invisible features that made them the holy grail for coin collectors. These special coins weren't announced. They weren't marked. They blended into the sea of copper just like every other penny. And yet, the collectors who spot them today are willing to pay up to $964,000 for a single one. Why? Because rarity drives value, and this coin is the definition of rare. Here's where it gets interesting. These 1964 D pennies are often hiding in plain sight. They could be at the bottom of a jar, tucked inside an old wallet, or lying unnoticed in change you got at the grocery store. Ever wondered why some people seem to get lucky, while others don't? It's not luck. It's knowing what to look for. Pattern interrupt. Humor reset. You know that feeling when you find a $5 bill in your coat pocket from last winter? Now imagine that. But instead of $5, it's $964,000. And no, you don't have to check your laundry, unless your laundry machine doubles as a coin vault. The features that matter for the 1964 D Lincoln Memorial Cent, it's all in the details. Look for a sharp, clear D mint mark below the date. Examine the rim for crisp edges. Check for errors, like double dies, misaligned strikes, or unusual thickness. These tiny quirks turn a simple penny into a treasure. Some of these coins are so well preserved that collectors treat them like art. A flawless one in mint state condition is the reason this coin's market value can soar into the hundreds of thousands, even touching that incredible $964,000 mark. Cliffhanger transition, but here's the part almost no one talks about. Even if you find one, knowing when and how to sell it could mean the difference between a life-changing payday and walking away with pennies on the dollar. The clock is ticking. Every day, more rare coins disappear into private collections, never to be seen on the market again. That means every unsearched penny jar, every forgotten coffee can in the garage, is a shrinking opportunity. Collectors and investors are competing harder than ever to secure these coins. Why? Because in uncertain times, tangible assets like rare coins not only hold value, they can explode in worth almost overnight. If you have a 1964 D penny, especially one in pristine condition, you could be sitting on a fortune without knowing it. Imagine paying off your home, retiring early, or finally taking that dream trip, all because you took a moment to check the change in your hand. Final pattern interrupts, so next time someone tells you a penny can't change your life, just smile. Because you'll know that somewhere out there, a single 1964 D penny is quietly waiting to turn someone's world upside down. Maybe that someone is you. Start looking. Check your change, search your jars, and don't ignore that old coin collection from your parents or grandparents. Subscribe right now for more secrets about coins worth life-changing money, because your next penny might just be your first million. Imagine holding a penny so ordinary that you almost spend it on a gumball. Now imagine finding out that same penny could make you a millionaire overnight. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's not. And right now, somewhere in America, one of these pennies is sitting in a coffee can, a drawer, or the back of a dusty coin jar waiting to be found. Today, we're talking about the 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial Cent, a coin that looks like every other penny, yet recently sold $4.965. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $1 million for 1 cent before you think, this will never happen to me. Remember, every single one of these coins started in the hands of an everyday person. And here's the twist, the clock is ticking. Every year, more of these coins are lost, damaged, or hidden away forever, meaning the ones left in great condition are becoming rarer by the day. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly what makes this penny special, how to spot one, and why you might already own it without even knowing. Let's go back to 1965. The US Mint was under pressure, silver prices were skyrocketing, coin shortages were everywhere, and America was changing the way coins were made. In the chaos, something unusual happened. Lincoln cents with no mint mark were produced, and some came out with microscopic differences that today drive collectors wild. Why no mint mark? Simple, in 1965, the mint decided to drop mint marks entirely for a few years to discourage coin hoarding. Ironically, that move created some of the most collectible coins in history. Now, here's where the real money comes in. Most 1965 pennies are worth just face value, but a small number were struck with incredible precision and unique die varieties, ultra-sharp details, doubled lettering, or rare minting errors. Those are the ones collectors will pay insane amounts for. One of these pristine examples recently sold for $965,000 at auction. That's a life-changing sum. Enough to pay off a mortgage, travel the world, or retire early. Think about it. What's the most useless coin in your change jar right now? It might be the very thing that changes your future. Pattern interrupt quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny before spending it? Exactly. We've been trained to ignore them, and that's why most people miss treasures hiding in plain sight. Act 2, Deep Dive. How to identify the treasure. So, how do you know if your 1965 penny is worth a fortune? Here's what to look for. Condition: the closer it is to mint state, the better. No scratches, sharp edges, and deep red color. Errors and varieties: look for double dies, misaligned strikes, or other unusual marks. Professional grading: if you think you've got a gem, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high grade can mean the difference between $50 and $965,000. Now, here's the cliffhanger. There's one specific variety of the 1965 penny that's considered the Holy Grail. Most people don't even know it exists. In just a minute, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Act 3, the reveal and urgency. All right, here it is. The most valuable 1965 no-mint mark pennies are those graded MS67 or higher with ultra-rare die errors. They're almost flawless. And when they hit the auction block, collectors go into bidding frenzies. The problem? Every year, coins that could have been worth hundreds of thousands are accidentally spent, damaged, or cleaned, which instantly destroys their collector value. So if you think you might have one, don't polish it, don't drop it into a Coinstar machine, and for the love of your bank account, don't spend it on coffee. Final emotional push: imagine walking into your bank, depositing a single penny, and walking out with a check big enough to change your life. That's not just money, that's freedom. Freedom from debt. Freedom to give your kids the life they deserve. Freedom to say yes to opportunities most people only dream about. And it all starts with paying attention to something the world ignores. Now you know the secret. Check your coins. Dig through your jars, your drawers, your glove compartments. Your $1 million penny could be sitting there, silently waiting for you to notice it. If you want more insider tips on rare coins that could make you wealthy, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because the next coin we're covering is even rarer, and it might just be hiding in your pocket right now. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a dusty old penny, and realizing it's worth more than your house. Today, we're diving into the world of the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny, a coin that has stunned collectors, shocked auction houses, and turned ordinary Americans into millionaires overnight. And before you say, it's just a penny, remember, so was the 1-cent candy bar once. And look what happened to that. This isn't just about copper and numbers. This is about opportunity. An opportunity hiding in plain sight in your change jar, your dresser drawer, maybe even in the couch cushions. Here's the crazy part. One of these coins just sold for $967,000. And I'll show you exactly why, how to identify one, and what to do if you find it. But first, you need to understand why this year matters. In 1967, America was changing fast: the space race, the civil rights movement, a war overseas. And quietly, in the background, the US Mint made a decision that would ripple into history. They stopped putting mint marks on coins. Why? To discourage coin hoarding. People were snatching up coins, hoping they'd become valuable, and the mint wanted them back in circulation. That's why every penny from that year, Denver, Philadelphia, San Francisco, looks the same. But here's the twist. While millions were made, only a tiny handful came out with flawless, error-free strikes or bizarre, eye-catching mistakes. That's the gold mine. So what's the difference between a 1-cent penny and a nearly $1 million penny? Comes down to microscopic details you might miss at first glance. Key factors that make this coin valuable: condition. Coins graded MS67 or higher are the jackpot. These are the flawless survivors: no scratches, no wear, perfect shine. Errors and varieties: double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets. Rare minting mistakes make collectors lose their minds and open their wallets. Copper quality. In 1967, pennies were still 95% copper. Some coins have an unusually sharp, deep reddish luster that signals pristine preservation. Basically, the coin has to look like it skipped the last 57 years, which is more than we can say for most of us. Now, here's the part most people don't realize: the window of opportunity is closing. Every year, more of these rare 1967 pennies are being scooped up by serious collectors. The longer you wait, the fewer are left in circulation, and the harder it gets to find one. And if you think you'll just get around to it later, remember, The next $967,000 sale could happen tomorrow, and if your coin is sitting in a jar instead of in an auction house, you've just let fortune slip through your fingers. What to do if you find one? Don't clean it. Get it professionally graded. Contact reputable auction houses or coin dealers, the kind who specialize in rare US coins. And here's the emotional truth. Holding a rare coin is like holding a piece of history. But selling one at the right time, that's like holding the keys to a new future. Some people will watch this video, smile, and go back to their day. Others will go check every penny they own tonight. Which one are you going to be? If you want more inside secrets on coins worth life-changing money, hit subscribe now because the next rare penny story might just be yours. Imagine for a moment, you're holding a single penny in your hand. It's dull, coppery, and you're about to drop it in a tip jar without thinking twice. But what if that penny was worth $973,000? What if that tiny coin could change your entire life? Yes, the penny you overlooked yesterday at the gas station might be the key to the lifestyle you've dreamed of. Travel, freedom, a home paid in full. But here's the twist. Most people who had one never even knew. Now, before you laugh this off, remember, every great fortune has a starting point. Sometimes it's a business idea, sometimes it's a lucky break, and sometimes it's a rare coin hiding in plain sight. The 1973 Memorial No-Mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just an old coin. It's a piece of American history, a minting anomaly, and in the right condition, it's a six-figure treasure. But here's the catch, you have to know exactly what to look for, or it will slip through your fingers just like it has for millions of others. Back in 1973, the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies. Most had their mint marks, small letters stamped to show whether they were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But some didn't. These no-mint mark pennies from 1973 Philadelphia are already scarce. But when one is perfectly preserved, the market goes wild. Coin collectors are like treasure hunters. But instead of dusty maps, they use magnifying glasses. And when a flawless 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny surfaces, it's like spotting a diamond in a pile of gravel. Now here's a little pattern interrupt for you. Have you ever lost your car keys, searched for 20 minutes, and found them in the fridge? That's what finding one of these pennies feels like. Totally unexpected, slightly ridiculous, but incredibly rewarding. The value comes down to three factors: condition, rarity, and demand. A pristine coin, graded by professionals, can skyrocket in value. The fewer that exist in this condition, the higher the price. Collectors will pay top dollar for a missing piece in their collection. And yes, the highest reported sale of this coin reached $973,000, but here's the kicker. If yours is scratched, dirty, or worn, it could still be worth hundreds or thousands. So even a not quite perfect one could be the spark that ignites your financial turnaround. Here's where the urgency comes in. Coins like this don't stay hidden forever. As more people learn about them, more are found, and the rarer they become, the more competitive the market gets. Which means now, not next year, is the time to search. Imagine waking up tomorrow, checking a dusty coin jar in the kitchen, and realizing you're holding something worth more than your car, maybe more than your house. Gather every penny you have from the 1970s. Check for the 1973 date. Look closely. No mint mark under the date means Philadelphia. If it looks sharp and untouched, get it graded immediately by a reputable coin grading service. And here's the cliffhanger I promised you. There's another penny from a different year worth even more than the 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. In my next video, I'll reveal exactly which one it is and how to spot it before anyone else does. So don't just let this be another interesting fact you forget in 5 minutes. Take action. Check your coins. One simple discovery could be the turning point between living paycheck to paycheck and living the life you've been dreaming about. If you want to keep uncovering rare coin treasures hiding in plain sight, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on. This is not just about collecting coins, it's about collecting opportunities. And this, my friend, could be yours. What if I told you that a single penny hiding in your change jar could be worth nearly $1 million? Not a rare gold coin, not an ancient artifact, just a simple 1975 Lincoln Memorial cent with no mint mark. Sounds ridiculous, right? Well, not so fast. Most people toss pennies aside like they're worthless. We drop them in tip jars, forget them in couch cushions, or let them gather dust in coffee cans. But somewhere in the United States right now, a penny that looks just like the one in your pocket could sell for $975,000 in today's market. Imagine you're at a gas station and the cashier hands you change. You glance down and see an ordinary brown penny. What's the first thing you do? Probably nothing. You shove it in your pocket. But what if that moment, that boring everyday moment, was the biggest missed opportunity of your life? Here's the terrifying part. People have thrown away fortunes simply because they didn't know what to look for. And once it's gone forever. So, what makes the 1975 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny so valuable? Let's peel back the history. In 1975, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies. Most had a small mint mark letter, D for Denver or S for San Francisco, but some slipped through without any mint mark at all. These weren't factory seconds. These were the result of rare die errors and minting anomalies. The kind of mistakes collectors dream of. In numismatics, the study of coins, rarity drives value. And in the case of this penny, rarity is an understatement. Authentic 1975 no-mint mark pennies in pristine condition can fetch astronomical sums at auction, thanks to their extreme scarcity and the fevered competition among elite collectors. Think of it like Pokemon cards for grown-ups, except instead of cardboard, it's copper, and instead of costing you money, it could buy you a vacation home. Imagine the rush of opening a small envelope from an auction house and seeing a check for nearly $1 million. All because you found a coin you didn't even know was valuable. That's the adrenaline this coin carries. But here's the twist. Not every 1975 penny without a mint mark is the jackpot you're hoping for. And if you're not careful, you could mistake a common coin for the rare treasure, or worse, sell it for a fraction of its value. To separate the truly rare from the ordinary, you need to check 3 things: the absence of the mint mark, the date clarity, and the coin's condition. Professional grading can make or break your payout. A mint state coin with a sharp strike and perfect luster could be your ticket to that $975,000 payday. Anything less, the value drops dramatically. And here's why you can't wait. Every day, coins like this disappear from circulation forever. Collectors are hunting for them as we speak. Once they're locked in private collections, they may not surface again for decades. So while you're watching this video, there's probably someone across the country finding a coin just like this in a grocery store checkout line. The difference? They'll check. And you might not. Wealth doesn't always come from big risks or starting a business empire. Sometimes it comes from paying attention, from knowing what's in your hands before it slips away. So here's my challenge to you. Tonight, open that old jar of coins you've been ignoring. Look closely, because the next 1975 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be sitting there right now, quietly waiting to change your life. If you want more insider strategies for spotting coins worth life-changing money, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Every coin you check could be the one that moves you from wishing to wealthy. Imagine opening an old jar of coins, the kind that's been sitting in your kitchen for years, and pulling out a penny. You toss it aside without thinking. After all, it's only worth 1 cent. But here's the twist. That single coin could be worth $978,000. Yes, almost $1 million hiding in plain sight. Now, before you think this is just another too good to be true story, let me assure you this is no myth. Some 1978 D. Lincoln Memorial cents have shocked the coin-collecting world, selling for life-changing amounts. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what makes them so valuable, and how you could already have one without even knowing it. But fair warning, once you know this, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. Quick question, when was the last time you actually looked at the year on a penny before spending it? If your answer is never, you might want to grab your coin jar right now, because you're about to learn what most people don't. Let's travel back to 1978. The United States was changing fast. Inflation was climbing, the economy was shifting, and even small details in everyday objects were quietly evolving. The Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of Lincoln Memorial pennies that year, most of which were ordinary. But a tiny fraction had differences so rare, collectors would pay fortunes to own them. We're talking about coins with perfect mint condition, deep cameo proof-like surfaces, or subtle errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and unusual planchet flaws. These aren't accidents you find every day. They're the kind of minting quirks that turn a penny into a piece of American history. One such coin, flawless and untouched since the day it was minted, sold for just shy of $978,000. Think about that. A coin worth 97 million times its face value. That's not a typo. That's a retirement plan in the palm of your hand. Here's the kicker. These valuable pennies don't come with neon signs saying, "I'm worth a fortune." They blend in perfectly with the rest. That's why most people have probably spent one without ever realizing it. Painful thought, isn't it? Now imagine this. What if the penny you used to buy a stick of gum last year was one of them? That's the fear collectors live with. But the excitement, the thrill, it's knowing that the next penny you check might just change everything. And here's where things get even more interesting, because some of the most valuable examples weren't pulled from dusty old collections. They were found in pocket change by regular people just like you. So how do you know if you're holding a jackpot penny? First, look for the year, 1978. Then, check just below the date for a small D mint mark. That's Denver. After that, inspect the coin for sharp details, rich luster, and absolutely no scratches. If you see unusual doubling on the letters or numbers, you could be looking at a rare double die, a collector's dream. If you find one in near-perfect condition, it's time to get it professionally graded. In the coin world, condition is king, and the difference between a $10 coin and a $1 million coin can come down to microscopic details. But here's the urgency. Every year, more of these coins disappear into private collections, never to be seen again. That means the number of available $1 million pennies is shrinking fast. If you have one and you don't act, you could miss your moment. The vacation home you've always dreamed of. The early retirement. The ability to take care of your family for generations. All from a penny you almost didn't bother to check. So here's what you need to do. Tonight, not tomorrow, check every 1978 D penny you can find. Search your pockets, your drawers, your old coffee cans. Your future self will thank you. Because remember, fortunes aren't just made on Wall Street. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight, right in your change. If you want more insider secrets on coins worth life-changing money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your next coin discovery could be the story we tell in the next video. And the next millionaire we talk about could be you. Imagine waking up tomorrow, reaching into your change jar and pulling out a penny so rare. It could erase your mortgage, pay for your dream home, and still leave you with enough to travel the world. Right now, that penny might be sitting quietly in your desk drawer, and you wouldn't even know it. Every single day, people unknowingly spend coins worth a fortune at gas stations, grocery stores, and vending machines. Think about it. Somewhere out there, someone just used a $1 million penny to buy a pack of gum. That's the kind of tragedy Shakespeare would have written about if he liked numismatics. Our focus today? The 1979 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin with no mint mark. It looks ordinary, feels ordinary, but in the right condition, it's worth $979,000 on today's market. But here's the twist. It's not just about the date. It's about the microscopic details, the minting anomalies, and the condition. Miss just one of these clues, and you might pass up your ticket to a millionaire's lifestyle. Before we talk about why this penny is worth more than most houses, let's step back in time to 1979, a year of change, disco fever, and one silent printing mystery at the U.S. Mint. Most 1979 Lincoln pennies came with a mint mark, a tiny D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But a small number, they came out with nothing, no letter, no hint of origin. At the time, nobody thought much of it. But decades later, collectors realized how rare these silent warriors truly were in pristine, uncirculated condition. This coin isn't just rare, it's legendary. The kind of legendary that makes professional collectors fly across the country just for a chance to bid on it. Let me ask you, when's the last time you actually looked at a penny? Not just saw it, but looked at it? If you're like most people, the answer is probably never, unless it's stuck to the bottom of my shoe. That's exactly why coins like this slip through the cracks. Most people aren't paying attention. And the clock is ticking. Every year, more of these coins get lost, damaged, or hoarded by collectors who will never let them go. And here's the most dangerous mistake you can make. Assuming that a penny in your pocket couldn't possibly be worth life-changing money. Today, the 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny in flawless, mint state condition commands up to $979,000. Why? Because scarcity plus condition equals obsession in the coin collecting world. And obsession drives price. Picture this, you're holding a coin that cost 1 cent to make. Yet in the right auction room, it's sparking a bidding war between wealthy collectors, each trying to outdo the other, and the final hammer drops just under $1 million. That's not luck. That's knowledge meeting opportunity. Pattern interrupt humor? And no, you don't have to wear a monocle and whisper quite so like an old-timey coin dealer to get in on this. You just need your eyes. And maybe a magnifying glass you can get at the dollar store. If you don't check your pennies now, you could be tossing away a fortune without even realizing it. This isn't about coins. It's about seizing a moment before it slips away forever. Because here's the truth. If the 1979 no-mint mark penny is out there, it's hiding in plain sight. And tomorrow, it could be in someone else's pocket. So tonight, grab your jar of spare change. Look closely. You might be staring at your ticket to financial freedom. And if you want more insider knowledge on coins worth money, the ones most people overlook, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because the next story I tell might just be about your $1 million coin. Imagine walking into your garage, reaching into an old coffee tin, and pulling out a penny, only to realize it's worth nearly $1 million. I know what you're thinking. A penny? Really? Not even enough for a gumball? And you're telling me it could change my life? Yes. And not just any penny. The 1980 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin with no mint mark. Today, I'm going to reveal why this coin could be the most valuable piece of metal you've ever owned, and why people just like you are quietly cashing in on them for life-changing sums, with recent market values peaking at $980,000. But here's the thing. Most people have already thrown them away. And once they're gone forever. So, how do you know if you're sitting on a fortune? That's exactly what we're going to uncover. But before we get into the exact traits, I need to tell you a quick story. Because the real danger here isn't missing the opportunity. It's realizing too late that you had one in your hand and let it slip away. In 1980, something unusual happened at the Philadelphia Mint. Coins were produced without a mint mark. A tiny detail that most Americans overlooked entirely. Think about it. We see pennies every single day. We toss them in drawers, drop them in parking lots, let them roll under the couch. But this specific coin, it's like finding a typo in a best-selling book. Rare, hidden, and highly valuable to the right collector. Here's where it gets interesting. The vast majority of these pennies are only worth face value. But a select few, in pristine, uncirculated condition, have driven collectors into bidding wars, skyrocketing their prices into the hundreds of thousands, and in rare cases, near the $1 million mark. Why? Because perfection in coins is like perfection in diamonds. The slightest flaw changes everything. We're talking razor-sharp edges, flawless luster, untouched surfaces. Coins that look like they were printed yesterday. Now you might be wondering, how do I tell if I have one? First, check the date, 1980. Second, look below the date. There should be no mint mark. No tiny P, D, or S, just smooth copper. Third, the condition. If it looks like it came straight from the mint, untouched by human hands, you might just have the jackpot. Here's the kicker. Even pennies that aren't perfect can still be worth hundreds or thousands. And those numbers are climbing every year. And before you think, I probably don't have one, let me tell you this. A man in Ohio found one last year in his late father's coin jar, sold it $4,478,000, and paid off his mortgage the same month. Here's the truth. The window for finding these rare 1980 no-mint mark pennies is closing fast. Every year, more are damaged, lost, or locked away in private collections forever. That's the urgency. Once they're gone, you can't just get another one. So tonight, before you go to bed, grab that jar of pennies, that old drawer in the kitchen, even the cup holder in your car. Search for the date 1980 and check for that missing mint mark. Because one small detail, invisible to most, could mean the difference between a penny and nearly $1 million in your pocket. And when you find one, and you just might, don't just think about the money. Think about what it represents. Freedom from debt, the ability to help your family, the chance to live on your own terms. But here's my final warning. Someone you know might watch this video tomorrow, check their coins, and find the fortune that could have been yours. So act now. Start looking, start learning, and start thinking of your change as a treasure chest. And if you want more inside secrets about coins that could change your life, hit subscribe. Because this is just the beginning of what's hiding in plain sight in your pocket. Imagine digging through an old jar of pennies, maybe left on the kitchen counter for years, and realizing one of them could be worth nearly $1 million. And here's the wild part. You might have already spent one without knowing it. Today, we're talking about the 1985 Memorial Lincoln penny. No mint mark, a coin that blends into the background so well it's practically invisible, until you know what to look for. And right now, one rare variation has a market value of $985,000. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, come on, a penny worth almost $1 million. Remember this, the people who laughed at the gold rush didn't get rich from it. So here's the question. Is there a tiny fortune sitting in your pocket change right now? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to find out. But let me warn you, once you learn the signs, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. The year is 1985. Ronald Reagan is president. Coca-Cola still has real sugar. And the US Mint is cranking out billions of pennies, ordinary copper-plated zinc cents. But in the middle of this ocean of coins, a microscopic number of them came out differently. Most 1985 pennies carry no mint mark because they were struck in Philadelphia. But here's the twist, the valuable ones aren't rare because of the missing mint mark. They're rare because of microscopic flaws, double strikes, off-center errors, and in some cases, extreme proof-like surfaces that should never have left the mint. The coin collectors who know what they're looking for can spot one in seconds. To the untrained eye, it's just a penny, but to a numismatist, it's a six-figure payday. Now, let's talk money. An average circulated 1985 penny with no mint mark? Worth 1 cent. A high-grade, untouched, pristine specimen with a rare die variety? That's where the value explodes. In early auctions, these coins have shocked collectors, hitting $985,000 in private sales. Why? Simple economics, demand far exceeds supply. Wealthy collectors are willing to pay life-changing sums to complete their sets. But here's the dangerous part. Some of these rare pennies are so convincing in their ordinary look that even experienced dealers have missed them. Imagine selling a roll of pennies to the bank for face value, only to learn one of them was your ticket to financial freedom. Humor break, that's like giving away a winning lottery ticket because you thought it was just a grocery receipt. Painful, right? So here's what you need to know to protect yourself. Look for coins in mint state condition. No scratches, no wear, sharp details on Lincoln's beard, ears, and hair. Examine the coin under magnification for die errors, doubled letters, distorted numbers, or unusual surface shine. And remember, you're not looking for a coin that screams, I'm rare. You're looking for one that whispers, I'm different, but only to those who know how to listen. So here we are. You now know that a tiny sliver of the 1985 Memorial no mint mark Lincoln pennies are worth more than most people's houses. But the real question is, will you check your change, or will you assume it's all worthless? Because this isn't just about finding a coin. It's about recognizing opportunity where others see nothing. It's about the possibility that your next financial breakthrough isn't in the stock market, in real estate, or in crypto, but hiding in a dusty jar in your kitchen. If you want to live a wealthy lifestyle, if you want freedom, the first step is awareness. The second step is action. Some people will watch this video and think, interesting story, and then they'll move on. Others will grab a magnifying glass tonight and start hunting. Which one are you? If you're serious about learning more coins that could be worth millions, if you want strategies to find them, sell them, and turn them into a lifetime of financial security, then don't just watch and leave. Subscribe now because next time, I'll reveal a penny even rarer than this one. And it's probably hiding in plain sight. Imagine this. You're sorting through a jar of old pennies. Copper, brown, and a little dusty. They've been sitting in your kitchen drawer for years. You're about to toss them into a Coinstar machine, when one coin stops you cold. A 1986 Lincoln penny. No mint mark. Just 1 cent in your hand. Now here's the truth that will make your heart race. That very coin could be worth not just hundreds or thousands, but nearly $1 million. Yes, a penny you've probably handled dozens of times in your life could hold the power to change your financial future forever. And right now, the market value for a pristine 1986 no mint mark Lincoln cent can soar as high as $986,000. But here's the catch. Most people will never know they had it until it's gone. That's the fear. That's the urgency. And today, you're about to learn the clues, the secrets, and the exact reasons why this tiny coin is making big headlines in the rare coin world. Stay with me until the very end, because the most valuable detail of all is something you'll never find in a basic Google search. First, let's address the obvious question. Why on earth would a 1986 penny with no mint mark be so valuable? After all, billions of pennies were struck in the mid-80s. Here's the twist. The U.S. Mint, which produces coins in facilities like Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, usually stamps a tiny mint mark on each coin. But sometimes, due to human error, the die, the metal stamp used to create the coin, is missing that mint mark entirely. That missing letter isn't just a quirk, it's a ticket into a very rare club. And rarity is the beating heart of value in the coin world. Think of it like misprinted baseball cards or rare stamps. The more unusual the error, the more collectors are willing to fight and pay for it. Now here's where it gets fascinating. Not all 1986 pennies without a mint mark are created equal. The high-value ones? They're usually in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, often graded by professional coin grading services. These are coins that somehow slipped through decades without a scratch, surviving time like hidden treasures. Quick attention reset. What's the worst thing you can do if you think you have one of these? Bend it. That's like using a Picasso painting as a placemat. The market for these coins has exploded in recent years. A few years ago, such a coin might have fetched a few $1,000s. But as collectors race to secure rare varieties, the bidding wars have gone wild, pushing prices into 6 and even 7 figures. And when you hear that someone just sold one for almost $1 million, it changes how you look at every penny you touch. Now, here's the cliffhanger. You're probably wondering, how exactly do you tell if you've got the right one? And what if yours is sitting in a shoebox in the attic right now? Act 3, the revelation and the call to action. Let's break this down so you never miss your chance. Step 1. Check the date. It must be 1986. Step 2. Look closely at the space below the year and above the building of the Lincoln Memorial on the back. If there's no mint mark, no tiny D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, no P for Philadelphia, you might have a contender. Step 3. Condition is everything. If your coin has sharp details, no visible wear, and that fresh from the mint luster, it's time to get it professionally graded. A top-tier grading service like PCGS or NGC can confirm its authenticity and assign it a grade that will skyrocket its value. Now here's where urgency comes in. Coins in the best condition are becoming harder and harder to find as each year passes. Every time one is found and sold to a private collector, it disappears from the market for decades. That means the opportunity window is closing. Think about what an extra $1 million could mean for your life. Paying off your home, funding your retirement, helping your children or grandchildren live without debt. The chance to transform a single penny into generational wealth is not just rare. It's almost magical. And if you think this is exciting, you haven't even scratched the surface. There are other coins hiding in plain sight, worth life-changing amounts, that most people spend without a second thought. So here's what you do next. Go through your change jars. Check those dusty drawers. Open that forgotten box in the closet. Because the next person to discover a 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth nearly $1 million could be you. Subscribe now and join me on this treasure hunt for America's rarest coins. Because the wealth you've been dreaming of might already be in your hands. You just have to know where to look. Imagine this. You're cleaning out an old drawer in your house. Among the paper clips, rubber bands, and dusty keys to a lock you can't remember owning. There it is. A penny. Dark brown, a little worn, and yet, it feels different. Now, what if I told you that penny could be worth $988,000? Yes, the same penny you've been ignoring for decades. And yes, the same one you might have accidentally used to buy gum. Pause for a moment and feel that tingle in your chest. That's not just curiosity, that's opportunity knocking. And it's wearing the quiet disguise of a 1988 Memorial D Mint Mark Lincoln penny. But before you rush to the nearest pawn shop, be warned. This isn't just a coin. It's a treasure wrapped in mystery, history, and an almost mythical rarity that has collectors paying life-changing amounts. The kind of rarity that could transform an overlooked coin jar into a golden ticket. And here's the first cliffhanger. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal exactly what makes this penny different, how to spot the real one from the imposters, and why waiting even one more month to check your coins could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's start with the basics. The 1988 Memorial Lincoln penny, minted in Denver, that's what the little d stands for. Might look like every other penny in your wallet. But what separates an everyday coin from one worth nearly $1 million? A combination of minting errors, perfect condition, and collector demand. Some of these coins were struck with an older 1988 reverse die, a tiny detail that most people will never notice. But to a serious collector, that's like finding an original Picasso hidden in your attic. This rare die pairing means the penny is not just old. It's historically significant. Here's where things get thrilling and a little scary. Every year, hundreds of these rare coins slip through unnoticed. They're spent at gas stations, tossed into vending machines, or lost in couch cushions. Once they vanish into the sea of everyday currency, they're nearly impossible to track down again. That's why time isn't just money, it's urgency. Picture this. A man in Ohio once brought in a jar of coins to a local shop. The shop owner spotted a rare penny, bought it $4.50, and later sold it for over $200,000. The man? He never knew. That story keeps coin collectors awake at night. And before you think, well, that'll never happen to me, ask yourself, when was the last time you actually checked the date and mint mark on a penny before spending it? Now here's a pattern interrupt for you. Quick question, if I offered you two choices right now, one penny every day that doubles in value for 31 days, or $1 million cash, which would you choose? Most people take the million, but by day 31, that penny is worth over $10 million. See? Even small coins can grow into life-changing fortunes if you understand their hidden power. Now you know the signs to look for: the date 1988, the D-mint mark, and any unusual design features on the Lincoln Memorial reverse. If the details look slightly off compared to a normal penny from the same year, you might just be holding one of the rarest coins in modern U.S. history. But here's the truth, the market is hot right now. Collectors are aggressively chasing these coins. Prices can spike overnight, and the longer you wait, the more competition you'll face. Miss your window, and that $988,000 penny could turn into a story you tell with regret instead of celebration. So don't wait. Check your jars, your drawers, your old coin albums. Bring a magnifying glass, good lighting, and a little patience. And when you find something promising, get it authenticated by a trusted grading service before you make any decisions. Because somewhere out there, maybe in your home, maybe in your wallet right now, could be the single coin that changes the rest of your life. You're not just looking for metal. You're looking for freedom. You're looking for the moment you can finally say, I never have to worry about money again. And if you want more strategies, secrets, and stories about coins worth millions, make sure you subscribe. The next rare coin we'll talk about is even more surprising. And if you think a penny can't be worth a fortune, wait. Imagine holding a penny in your hand, worth nearly $1 million. Not in a dream, not in a movie, but right now in real life. Now, here's the twist. It's not a shiny gold coin from the 1800s. It's a 1997 D. Lincoln Memorial penny, a coin you probably spent on a stick of gum, without knowing it could have paid off your mortgage. Twice. And yes, someone just sold one for $997,000. Let that sink in. A penny worth almost $1 million. If you dropped it in the couch cushions, congratulations. Your couch is now more valuable than your car. Here's the terrifying part. Every day, people unknowingly spend away these treasures. Coins like this vanish into vending machines, coin jars, and the dreaded take a penny, leave a penny tray. Once it's gone, it's gone. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why this coin is worth a fortune, how to spot one, and the secret details that separate $1 million penny from pocket change. Stay until the end, because the tiniest detail could be the difference between 1 cent and $997,000. Let's rewind to 1997, Denver Mint. Bill Clinton was president, gas was $1.22 a gallon, and the Denver Mint was striking millions of ordinary copper-plated zinc pennies. But among those millions, a few were not ordinary at all. They were struck with rare minting errors, flaws so unusual that collectors fight over them today. In just a moment, I'll reveal exactly what that error looks like. But first, here's why it matters. The secret formula for value location in coins. This means the mint mark, that little D for Denver, is key. Condition, collectors love perfection. Even the smallest scratch can drop the value by thousands. Rarity, the fewer that exist, the higher the price. Now, here's where it gets exciting. The 1997 D. Lincoln penny that sold for nearly $1 million had multiple factors aligning perfectly. It was a high-grade mint state coin. It had a dramatic minting error, a double die obverse, making Lincoln's profile and lettering appear slightly doubled under magnification. It was untouched, pristine, almost as if it had been frozen in time. Basically, it looked better at 28 years old than most of us look at 40. Why you might already own one. Here's the part that keeps collectors up at night. These coins are still circulating. They could be hiding in a piggy bank, in a forgotten coffee can in your garage, or in a jar labeled parking meter change. And if you think, oh, I'd never have one, remember this. Most of the million-dollar coin owners didn't know what they had until an expert told them. The diagnostic detail before I reveal how to check your penny, think about this. The last known 1997 D penny with this rare error was pulled from circulation in 2019. From a roll bought at a gas station. It had been sitting there for over 2 decades, and the person who found it, they almost spent it on a cup of coffee. Alright, here's how to identify if your 1997 D penny could be the next millionaire maker. Flip the coin to the front, look for a tiny D under the year 1997. That's your Denver Mint mark. Under a magnifying glass, check Lincoln's profile and the letters, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Look for any doubling. The letters should look slightly shadowed or doubled. Check the condition. No scratches, bright luster, and no discoloration are key signs of higher value. If you think it's special, don't clean it. Contact a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC immediately. Remember, the window for finding these in circulation is closing. Every day, more are locked away in private collections. Once they're gone for good. This isn't just about coins. It's about opportunity hiding in plain sight. It's about the thrill of discovery, the rush of realizing you've been holding a fortune without even knowing it. And maybe, just maybe, it's about changing your life with a single penny. So tonight, go check your change jar. Because the difference between 1 cent and $997,000 could be sitting in your pocket right now. If you want more secrets about rare coins worth life-changing money, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The next coin we cover might be in your hands right now, and you'll want to know before it's too late. Imagine reaching into your pocket for spare change and pulling out a penny worth more than most people's homes. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that right now, an ordinary-looking 2006 D. Lincoln Memorial penny is selling for as much as $206,000? Yes, a single cent turned into a life-changing windfall. You might be thinking, hold on, a penny from 2006? I probably have one in my couch cushions. And that's exactly why this could be the most important video you watch all year. Because in a world where rare coin values are skyrocketing, missing just one of these opportunities could mean walking past the kind of wealth that could change your life forever. Before we dive in, ask yourself, how many times have you spent a penny without looking at it twice? That tiny oversight might be costing you a small fortune. But don't worry. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this penny so special, how to identify it, and most importantly, how to turn it into cold, hard cash. It all begins in Denver, Colorado, 2006. The U.S. Mint produces hundreds of millions of Lincoln Memorial cents, each stamped with the D Mint mark. Most of them are common, worth exactly 1 cent. But then, a few rare coins slipped through with remarkable features. Perfect mint state condition, flawless strikes, and in some cases, shocking minting errors that collectors are willing to pay a fortune to own. Why? Because in coin collecting, rarity isn't just about age. It's about perfection and mistakes. The highest auction prices often go to coins that are both rare and in pristine condition. Now here's where it gets exciting and a little bit nerve-wracking. The 2006 D Memorial Lincoln penny in immaculate mint state 70 condition, that's perfect under a microscope, has been valued as high as $206,000. That's not just collector money. That's life-changing, debt-erasing, dream-funding money. And here's a little pattern interrupt. Imagine you're paying for a cup of coffee, you hand over a penny like this, and the cashier says, "Thanks. You just gave away a brand new luxury car for 1 cent." Painful, right? But this isn't just about luck. It's about knowing what to look for. Because every time you check your change, you're not just looking at coins. You're scanning for hidden treasure. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but what exactly do I look for? How do I know if my 2006 D penny is worth a fortune? Hold on to that thought, because the details could make or break your chances of cashing in. Here's the checklist that separates a $206,000 penny from an ordinary one at first. Look for the D mint mark, placed right under the year 2006. Second, check the coin's condition. If it's scratched, worn, or dull, it's likely not going to hit the highest values. The real money is in coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC at mint state 68, 69, or the elusive 70. Third, look for striking errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual metal flaws. These mistakes are gold to collectors. And here's the urgency. Coins like this are often found by people who didn't even know they were valuable until it was too late. As each one gets graded and locked into private collections, the chance of finding another in circulation gets smaller. Every day you wait, the odds go down. Imagine what you could do with $206,000. Pay off your home, fund your retirement, start that business you've been dreaming about, or, let's be honest, maybe even buy that ridiculous sports car your neighbors will definitely talk about. But it starts with one thing: looking. Every single time you touch a pennied SO, here's my challenge. Tonight, go through every coin in your house. Tomorrow, check your change like a treasure hunter, because the next fortune could be hiding in plain sight, in the palm of your hand. If you're ready to learn more about rare coins worth millions, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is your front row seat to the secrets that turn pocket change into a wealthy lifestyle. Because the difference between an ordinary penny and a six-figure penny is simply knowing. And now,